Just another mini comic Monday. That was nice.
You like that?
That was a little good. That was different.
Yeah, I did something different this time.
You changed it up. That was nice.
It's almost the end.
It is almost the end.
We have one more after this. One more mini comic Monday in May.
In May.
Mini then May will be over.
And then, yeah. But you should still be reading mini comics.
That's right. What do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about some...
I know, I thought you would start.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were going to start.
Well, that's okay. I'll start. Someone actually mentioned this in the comments, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Of one of our last ones, and that is Ginseng Roots by Craig Thompson. You may know Craig Thompson from Blankets fame, as well as the other books he wrote that I can't think of the names of.
Why can't I think? Oh, my gosh.
We've both read a lot of his stuff, and we just, nope.
Goodbye
anyway.
Chunky Rice?
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's one.
That is a good one that people often don't mention. So.
What's that space one?
It's behind me on the bottom shelf.
Space Dumplings.
There we go.
That's what it was called.
It's great. That one's really great.
That one,
you should read that one. Anyway, Ginseng Roots, though, is about his life. He released these. Is he still releasing these?
I think they're still coming out.
And they are smaller than the average comic. And the issues, I don't know how many issues there, or how many pages there are, rather. And I don't also know how many issues, should have done the research. But Uncivilized Books is putting these out in this format. Eventually, I think they're all going to be collected into a trade.
And you can get them in like little box set, or like little, like almost like subscription service type deal thing. I don't know. You can go to Uncivilized Books and
we'll have it in the description. You know, if you want to actually know more about it. But we picked this up at a comic shop that we really love in Nashville, and that was exciting. And yeah, the art, I mean, Craig Thompson's art is always wonderful, but it was wonderful, and it's about his life growing up and picking ginseng roots, basically.
Yeah, he worked on a ginseng root, like a ginseng farm, and just kind of talks a little bit about like the history of that and like him doing it, and it's really good. I've read it as well.
Really cool that he's putting it out this way too. We need to get more issues. We've only both read the first one, but
I've read a couple of them.
Oh, what hell?
I think we have the first 3 issues.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that, so I'm gonna have to read them after this. But yeah, this is a fun one, and if you're already familiar with his work, then check out some of his mini comics.
Yeah, definitely, you should do that. This one is a super fun one, and this is completely an unknown one for me. Like I jumped into this one blind, didn't know anything about it. We found it at another great different shop in Nashville. That sold mini comics.
Shout out Wake Up Comics.
Yeah, Wake Up Comics in the Groove record store. It was wonderful. And that is, I'm going to make sure I say it right, Sheepy on Strike by Polly Fossey. I'm going to guess Fossey is how you say their last name. And I just was in love with this, and I saw on the back, printed at Rizzo or Rizo Lab for Rizograph or Risograph, however you want to say that. Printing, and I was like, immediately, I love risograph printed stuff. It's a huge thing that I'm just like, immediately, I'm always like, because the tactile art of it is just so cool. And I love that it had this little sleeve thing on it for the title. And so it's just a little adorable story of Sheepy, and she's a tailor, and she also wants to like make dresses, but she wants to make a tutu for her granddaughter for her recital, and she is forced to work too much. So Sheepy goes on strike. And then it's just that little story of Sheepy going on strike, but still missing like what she loves doing, which is making dresses and making clothes. It was just really adorable and fun. And just, I loved that art so much. So I've never checked out Polly Fossey's work before this, but definitely now I'm going to.
Love that. I want to read that.
You should read that.
Also, for people who don't know what risograph is, maybe you should.
Oh, so like risograph printing is a very old like print press type thing. It was used in like I would say it's similar to like Japanese woodblock printing in ways, or kind of like screen printing a little bit as well, but it feeds through a machine. So you would print each color at a time, but it would feed through a machine through that. So it's like you would take, so for this, you know, every time for every color that's on here, there's just the pink and the blue, it would feed through the printer once, would print the blue and then feed through again and print the pink. And so sometimes it kind of gets like cool, like you can make like cool different colors by printing the blue on top of the pink, or like sometimes the registration may be a little off. So it kind of creates just like each one is more individualized and kind of like its own little special quirks and imperfections, which is neat.
Cool. The next one I want to talk about is Dunce, Good Boy of the Year. This is by Jens K. I should have looked up exactly what country he's in, but he's in another country. Can't remember where. But these are limited. Like this one's limited to 100, and it is a kind of a spin-off mini comic from his Dunce series, which are also mini comics. He's put these out on Kickstarter, and I've gotten them. Again, I can't remember what country, but like every time I've backed it when I see them at least. So I have 2 of these. And he did the whole first series. So there's Dunce, which is the main character, and then his dog, which this one centers around his good boy dog. And they're really funny and really entertaining. I love his art style. I really love his art style. So, one day I hope they, he kickstarts like a whole collected edition. I believe they're collected in that country, but not here. And also I like how this one you can like flip and have a different cover.
Does it start different too? Like, can you read it from
No.
that side? Oh, okay, sorry.
No, but it's just like a nice,
but that's
like,
really neat.
cool,
that is cool. Yeah,
different cover. But yeah, I love these, and he, signs and numbers everyone, and yeah, you should check him out. And this is about the good boy dog in it, who I love, and he talks.
That's adorable. Love good boy dog. So next, I'm going to talk about someone that I'm surprised we haven't talked about yet in this series, just because of the pure amount of mini comics this person does. And really just the amount of work this person does. And for today, we're just showing For Art's Sake by Noah Van Sciver. And Noah Van Sciver probably does more mini comics than anybody I see, because this guy just works so hard, and like just the amount of content he puts out is amazing. And a lot of it's auto-bio stuff. This is like a true story of art, skateboarding, and the end of a friendship. If you've read any of Noah's work, it's always top-notch stuff. But, he's done everything from like As a Cartoonist, Joseph Smith and the Mormons, One Dirty Tree, the Fonte Bukowski series. There's so much of this guy's work, so it's amazing. But what I like about this, and I think Kristen always picks these up for me because she pays harder attention than I do when he posts about stuff that goes up on his website, because he does these like 3 or 4 times a year, and I always miss it. But he only prints them himself, and he just does them and releases them, and then that's it. So if you ever are like interested in his work, you can always check out these and stay on top of it. You can get these cute little, fun little mini comics on his site for not much, and they're really good. They're really good. I really can't say much more about it other than just I love the art, I love the stories, and just really great work. And Noah Van Sciver's been doing it for a really long time. He's like one of the best mini comic and zine guys out there.
Love that. My last one is called A Seed Named Hope by Joe Latham. Latham?
I would say Latham.
Latham. Who knows? I'm sorry. I don't know.
I said it like I would say.
You're like,
I know what Latham.
I have a lot from him, and he did Haru, which recently got picked up. It's going to be from, I forget what publisher, but some big publisher, maybe Harper or something. I can't remember exactly. Which is very exciting. But he also, came out with mini comics of those, which I also really like. But this one specifically, I think it's still on Etsy shop. If so, I'm going to link it below. I'll link something of his below. Mm-hmm. But this one, of course, got me because it is about 2 cats. And it's so good. And it's actually kind of like square bound. Mm-hmm. Really, again, I think he publishes these himself. But it's about Rusty and Tufty. And I have to look at the back to remember. I just read it. Well, I remember what it's about, but like I'm going to have a hard time describing it, so let me just show you. The world's smallest cats. Being tiny has its advantages, though. It makes their world feel huge. Yet somehow it's not enough. They yearn for adventure, but the adventure they get turns out not to be what they dreamed of. This is a tale of loss, grief, and above all else, hope. And this is so great. I read it again earlier. I read it years ago, and I love his art style.
The art is so adorable.
It's so good, and the story in itself, like, it can be, there, like, you read it, and it's clearly metaphors for like other things in life. But it's so wonderful. It's just beautiful. I love this. It's 5 out of 5. I recommend everyone pick this up, and yeah, it was amazing.
So that's such a cute one.
Yeah,
I just love the art in that. And then,
did you read it?
I don't know if I've read that or if I've read some of his work. I think I read Haru.
Yeah,
because we have that. We have that in a couple mini comics, don't we?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Then that's what I'm thinking of. Mine also is a little square bound guy, and keeping with the risograph printed theme, I guess, for myself, I have Professor Cuties by Dave Baker. And I love Dave Baker's work. You may know Dave Baker from writing such works as the Forest Hills Bootleg Society and um, the F Off Squad and a bunch of other stuff. He works a lot with Nicole Gu, whose art I think might be some of the best art in comics happening right now. But he also like drew stuff. He draws stuff, and he's always been writing and creating mini comics and things like that. And this is his series, Professor Cuties, which is, I will just read the back because I can't explain it very well, but it's Professor Cuties follows a down on his luck would-be college professor who is forced to move into a single-bedroom apartment with an anthropomorphic rabbit woman and a super intelligent piece of mud. It goes about as well as you would think.
Wow.
And that's it. And he made this because he's a professional comic writer and artist, so he does this stuff all the time, but he wanted an excuse to work on something that wasn't like deadlined or anything like that. So he would work on these on the train or on the planes exclusively. And like when he's traveling. So they're little, they're very short little, like kind of vignettes almost. There is kind of a larger story, but I would say like basically like 3 to 6 panels at a time is one complete thought, one complete story. And it's just weird and it's just fun. And like, they got little fun Professor Cutie takes a trip. And I think this was also risograph printed. If not, then it's really, really good quality as far as like making it look like it's risograph printed, but it is just like sticks with that blue shade and all that. And it's just a blast. And you should definitely check out Dave Baker's work. Check out his writing. I love his writing and I love his creating. I love his drawing. He had like Action Hospital is like his big ongoing one that he has. And then he has Mary Tyler Mohawk is like a book that he's working on right now, which rules.
I want to read that. That's awesome.
It's just, he posts pictures of it and it's just all the time, just like he's always saying, I'm on the grind. And it's like, if you look at how detailed and intricate his artwork is, it's like this guy, I don't know how his arm's not falling off, but you should definitely check it out for sure.
Yeah, I want to read that.
You should.
I loved F Off Squad.
It's great. And it's stuff like,
so good.
He's really good. But that's it
Did
for
it.
Mini Comic Monday.
Yeah, again, everyone we mentioned will be linked in the description. And there will be even details we probably left out. So that's wonderful. Go check them out. Go check out all the creators. And buy some mini comics.
Buy some mini comics and read some mini comics.
Yeah. Let us know what you're reading.
And until then, bye. Just another Mini Comic Monday.